Hey guys, what's going on? We're back here for part 12 of the Audiopipe rebuild for version 2.0 here. And as you can see, I left off in the last episode there that we started on the amp rack, and we're going to continue some work on that. So hopefully in the next day or so we can have it pretty completed. We'll see what we can get done here. I got some more parts that's supposed to be delivered today, and we'll see how much we can get put together. If you guys have been watching, I appreciate it, and stick around. And the parts that I was just talking about in my little intro there has arrived. What could they be? Well, let's see here. What are we getting? How the hell is this thing put together? Set you guys up on a tripod here, so I'm not trying to finagle a camera and a knife. My luck, I'd lop my finger again and have to get more stitches. We got a package in a package. Here's some hardware. What do we got here? What we have here is brackets to stack the 4Ks. These are made by Jim's Machineworx. And these are the brackets to strap them all, or not strap them all, but stack them all together. These look pretty heavy duty. Alright, it comes with the four corners, trees I guess you would call them, to stack each amplifier on it, and all the hardware. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I've added a center brace here for just more support. It can't hurt anything. So what I'm going to start working on now is the platform or the floor for this that's going to go across here. Now, because of the funky angles and the way that this thing is shaped, I cannot put it in one piece, unfortunately. It just won't let me do it. So I have to do it in two pieces, and that's what I've done for the last few years when I'm building the rear end. So I'll just split it right down the middle, and put it in 2 pieces. I would like for it to be all one, but I can't. I just can't do it. I've tried it before and it just won't work. If this thing was more square, I would probably be able to put it in and tilt it and then set it down, but I've tried that in the past and I just cannot get it to work that way. So this is what I'm doing here, and I've got my redneck table saw set up for this first cut. I should patent this idea. So as you can see, I got this first piece cut, and no, obviously it does not fit. I got to trim the corners here, but once I get that trimmed to fit, it should slide right in there, and then I can move on to the side. Now, I was going to try and use a couple of my old panels that I've used before, but every year when I do this, everything is a different size, so I can't just slap it on there and trace it out. Of course, the last few weeks, the way that has went, tracing it, hoping it works, has not worked. Piece number 1 is done here. Got it all cut to fit here. That took a little bit of time to take it out, trim it, put it back in, because I didn't want to make too big of a cut and screw it all up, because I'm running low on this wood now. So trying to make use of everything that I got without having to go buy more wood. Hey, you gotta like my redneck table saw. And after a few cuts here, a few cuts there, this one drops in there, and that is complete. At least that cutting part anyway. Still got a lot to do, obviously, but that's working. Now I'll make this panel last. We're going to focus on working on this and how I'm going to frame that out. I think I want to maybe put some panels in here, make them about even with this, just to hide a little bit of this and that foam. I don't know though, we'll see. I mean, I need all the space I can get, obviously. 5 amplifiers and everything else that I got to get in here. Holy shit, it's starting to look like something back here now, guys. Alright, now that we got that done, we're going to pick some of this stuff up because the skies ain't looking too promising. Lots of thunder, and I'm seeing some lightning now, so we're going to take a break here, and that way I can think about some layouts here on these amplifiers. So I just out of curiosity wanted to see how this is going to work and how much room I had, so I kind of slapped the bottom amp, and I actually bolted it on, and this one here I just got it sitting on there, so it's not bolted down by any means. So wanted to see what kind of clearance I have, and it was better than I thought it was going to be, to tell you the truth. I got about 2 inches from each corner of the amp, so that's going to work, because I was starting to get worried about that, not having the room. So wanted to see how that was going to sit, because now I got to figure out how the hell I'm going to lay everything else out. Where I'm going to put the other amp, the 2504, and my bus bars, and all that good stuff. Okay, so I have been taking things in and out, and testing this and testing, fitting that, and cutting this and cutting that. So I've come up with a plan here. So yes, the 4Ks are definitely going to go where they are now. Going to have some fusing over here. Over here we're going to have our multi-channel splitter, our line driver. And I've put a lot of thought into this, and well, my 4K is going to go right here. I'm going to kind of angle it again, kind of like I did last year's build. I've had it in there, and I was holding it and had a buddy across the road look at it, and I had him hold it and I looked at it, and it's going to work out pretty good. And this will still close. But then I long and hard thought about how the hell I was going to do my bus bars, because I was going to reuse last year's bus bars, and each one of those are 2 feet long. And I was moving the amp around and trying this configuration and that configuration and where to put the bus bars. I thought about putting them like this, negative over here and positive over here underneath of the 4-channel like I did last year. But then I thought, man, no, I don't want to do that again. That was a lot of work drilling each individual hole. And then the negatives, you can see over here is my power. Power's on this side. So in the end, all my negative runs last year come from here, went underneath all the way across, and then back up to the amps. And I don't want to do that this year. So I was playing around with some ideas, and I still have 4 feet of that aluminum stock that I made those bus bars out of last year, and I came up with this. Now I'm going to make a distribution block. I've already kind of started gluing it together here, and I got it sitting here right now. So I think I'm going to put positive up here and negative down here, and it'll be nice short runs to all my amps right here. My 4 channel's going to go right here, so 2 runs right there, and then nice short runs to all 4 amps. I won't have an excessive amount of wiring, and you know, I'll try and make those look as clean and route those the best I can right up to each amp. And like I said, right here will be the shortest run. What is that, less than 6 inches? If I go off the center to those. So we're talking like, yeah, going to be like 6-inch runs to that first amp. So I think it'll look pretty cool. So now that I got an idea down, a foundation of how I'm going to do it, I'm going to have to pull all this out, because I got to put a panel back here, cover all this up, and I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do for, if I'm going to put panels there or just leave them black. The only thing I don't like about it is this side's not so bad, but this side here you could still see, well, you can't see since it's getting dark, you can still see kind of some of the bracket there from where the spare tire used to be. So that's the plan, and I'm happy with it, and I think it'll look all right. And learning from the past builds and problems that I've had before, I just want to make everything accessible. Last year at Slam, when my head unit went out and it took out my line driver, yeah, I could easily swap the head unit out and kept going, but my line driver wasn't working because it was on the back side of the wall, underneath the panel that I had there for that, and all the way back, and I just couldn't get to it to make any changes without taking everything out of here. And same goes for the fuses last year. I had a little bit of trouble getting to those, so you live and you learn, and I'm making those changes. That way everything's accessible, and if there's a problem or something needs changed, all I gotta do is open the hatch here and I can get to it. Not only that, but last year with these amps, 2 on this side and 2 on this side with these 4Ks. It was really hard getting my power wire in on this side, and then on this side I had to adjust my gains with a mirror, and I'm not doing that. So this year everything's going to be right there, and all my gains will be right here, and I could just turn, get everything set and be done. Simple yet effective, and as clean as I can get it. So with that being said, I've done a lot of work today, even though it doesn't look like it, but quite a bit. I did some stuff on the door panels too when it was raining, so one door panel was almost ready for paint. So we're going to end this for the night. I feel pretty good. I got a lot of stuff done the last couple days. I've got 2 good, almost full days of working on this since I was off work. Didn't have to run here, run there, or anything like that. So got a lot done in the last couple days. We're 3 weeks out from Slam, so it looks like I'm going to have this thing together. Hopefully I'll have this thing playing a week before Slam, so hopefully I'll have this playing in 2 more weeks. I give myself a 2-week cushion because anything could happen, and hopefully I can have it done playing sooner than that. But it gives me a 2-week cushion because I want this thing to be done a week before Slam. That way I'm not rushing to get anything else done like last year. I was still trying to build a panel to cover stuff up the day I left for Slam. So that's where I'm at, and we're going to call it a wrap for the night, and we'll pick this back up tomorrow evening after work. So this is where I'm at. It's been a couple days since I did any filming. It's not that I haven't done any work, but I haven't done any filming. It's been a crazy few days at work and personal life and some things going on, but I have gotten some work done. I got my fuse, or not my fuse, but my distro block. I got it done last night, as well as a bunch of more wiring that you can't see. I got everything wired, relay for remote turn on, and some wiring ran for my line driver that's going to go in over here. So I've got all that done. All that's wired now. So basically now it's time to make this back panel, which I got to trim that foam back. I got to finish foaming over here, and then wrap these panels and hook everything up, and everything's done back here. So that's where I'm at now, and that's what we're going to work on this evening. This is what I got going on now since I checked in the last time here. I had this thing all mocked up, besides this back panel here, which is what I'm getting ready to cut out of that 1/8 inch there, because it doesn't have to be nothing but a beauty panel basically. I had it all mocked up. I got everything laid out where I was going, where all my holes go for each wire and that sort of stuff. And then I put it back together, and I did a test run on running what wire goes to what, and I figured out I was a couple inches short on a couple, so I had to disassemble it, make like this one here for example, make some of those longer, new ends, all that good stuff, put it back together, make sure it was all going to work, then take it all back apart again, and now I'm ready to start wrapping. So what I'm doing now is I'm getting this panel cut, and because of the length of it, it's got to go into each corner back here by these windows, and with this only being so wide, I got no choice but to do it in 2 cuts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to seam it right up the middle the best I can, and hopefully I can make it look clean. And you're not really going to see a whole lot of that seam up the middle anyways, because all of my amplifiers are going to be stacked right there. And it's starting to rain. We've been dealing with some storms here this afternoon. So I might have to hurry up and pack up and throw some stuff inside here, but that's where we're at here. So my goal is tonight is to have this panel done, have my panels wrapped. Yep, here comes the rain. Have these panels wrapped. I basically want to have the back done tonight. Whether that happens or not, I don't know, but that's where we're at. But we got a little bit of rain here, so we're gonna have to take a pause. I don't know how well you can see with the shadow here, but I got this cut and trimmed out and formed to fit to the window here. Now it's not quite to the middle or centered, so I got to trim a little bit off of that to find my true center here. So we're going to knock that off here right now, and then we're going to move on to the next one. So you can see quite the considerable difference here it makes. So we'll get that trimmed, we'll start on the other one, and we'll get them wrapped, and then it'll really start looking good. One was fairly simple. It was just copy and trace, except for down in that corner there. It was a little different than this one over here. But other than that, it's done. I got one screw in it just to hold one in place, and slap these back in. Show you a little bit here. Now all I got to do is set my 4K rack back in here and figure out where I want to drill for my speaker leads, which will be 4 gauge, going into the box, and take it all apart, start wrapping, guys. Alright, well, time flies when you're having fun, and I didn't get as much done as I wanted to tonight, but I do have everything made. It's just a matter of wrapping, which can be time consuming. But here we got one wrapped, got it in, got it mounted, and it's looking pretty good. I'm happy with it. Got my holes pre-drilled here for, well, I might have to put another one in here somewhere. That's all right though. Got my buttons on there to hide the screws, because I'm OCD like that. Ben Irby could tell you that. So I got the other one to get done, these 2 panels, and then I can actually start mounting stuff. And then I got a panel to make here, but I got a couple in there that I've used over the last couple years that could fit on that. I might have to modify it a bit, but just modify it down, wrap it, and put it together. But anyway, I'm happy. And we'll call it a night, and we'll pick this back up tomorrow morning, because I'm off work and I get to work on it all day. Yeah, we're on the next day here. Had to work on the pool some this morning, and it's hotter than hell out here, but I'm going to keep plugging away on this. Excuse me. So I got that wrapped and put in. So now work on wrapping these bottom 2 here, and then I can start installing amplifiers. Sweet. Oh yeah, got that one wrapped up, and it's starting to look like it's meant to look like something. I'm very pleased with this vinyl. This vinyl is pretty tough to work with, but yet it's good to work with. So almost starting to look like it was meant to be this way. Focus. Alright, so we got this one to get wrapped up, and this is going to be the most difficult one because of the funky angles that I had to take over here, getting all that in. But if I take my time, I'll get it. Stand back here, get a look at this. Yes, yes, yes. Panel number 4 wrapped. Very, very pleased with the outcome. And got a little bit of crap on them I have to wipe off. But just like that, I can start feeding wires here, getting shit hooked up finally. You guys think of that? I like it. Alright, I got all my wires fed through. Oh, I forgot to get this one. This will be the power and ground for my line driver. There we go. So, start putting amps in. Alright, got the rack in. Got it situated where I wanted it. Hopefully. And I got my distro just sitting there for reference right now. That's how she's looking at the moment. So I'm going to have to do one amplifier at a time, and I believe wire it at a time, because it's going to be hard to get to those. What I'm trying to say. Get to these Allen bolts here to tighten these up if I stack them all up and then try to hook them all up. So I believe I'm gonna have to do one at a time, wire one at a time, like so. Alright, this is as far as I got today, guys. I'm gonna call it a wrap. I'm tired. This thing has actually taken longer than what I anticipated. I thought I'd have everything done, but at least the amp I'm going to put there in. But it's where I'm at, so I'm going to call it quits for the night. I'm going to go in and watch some TV and watch a couple shows with the wife, my wife, and enjoy life, I suppose. But that wire management, that takes forever. So I got one hooked up fully, and I got the other one in there, started bolting it down. I still got to hook it up, so 2.5 to go, I suppose, as far as the 4Ks. But anyways, I'm very pleased with the vinyl. As I said earlier, turned out pretty well, if you ask me. So we're going to call it quits tonight, and I'm going to get up early tomorrow and knock as much of this out as I can before it gets really hot. It's supposed to be in the 90s tomorrow. Isn't that funny how when I started on this, it was nothing but rain and snow, and now we're in the 80s and 90s. But we're in the crunch slam now. We're 2 weeks out. Obviously I'll be done, but I want to be done way ahead of time and not still working on it the day before. So, but I will have this done tomorrow, guys. So, stick around. I've been out here for a little while this morning, and it's hot as balls already. But after I went in last night, if you guys remember, I had this started wiring this different. After I went in last night, I got thinking about it. I didn't like the way I was doing it, so I came out here today and I took my power and grounds off and started redoing them, and I'm much more pleased with the way these are turning out now. So I got 2 amps fully hooked up, and I got 2 more to get. That's where we're at. I guess wire management is a little better than what I had going before. Because remember before I had short runs coming from these dual outputs going straight to here and straight to there, and I was like, yeah, after looking at it and thinking about it, I was like, nah, I don't like that. I'm going to change it up. So this is where we're at now. So I'm going to keep plugging away here. And then there was 3. All right, 1 more 4K and 1 more the 2504 and the APNK 2504, which is the 4-channel running the doors. And I'm going to mount right here at an angle, kind of like I did with last year's setup when the amps were, the 4Ks were mounted horizontally there. So damn near there, guys, damn near there. Now I wish I could get that wiring a little more better, but it is what it is, and it's going to serve its purpose regardless. So got to get the other 4K out, get it prepped, and get it hooked up. Damn near done with this back. And then there was 4. Now this is taking a little longer than I anticipated, but that's all right. I don't think it looks too bad, guys. Not as fancy as some of these guys is wiring, but when you don't have the room, you don't have the room. So I guess it don't look too bad if you ask me. I like it. But that's what it looks like with 4 4Ks stacked. Again, this is the full rack amplifier rack by Jim's Machineworx. You can order that at jimsmachineworx.com, on Amazon and on eBay stores as well. I think they're 80 bucks plus shipping, so after it's all said and done, taxes and all that stuff, works out to be about $100, which is not a bad investment. It's a whole hell of a lot sturdier than using the threaded rod, and it looks a lot better. All right, so we're going to make my little rack here to hold this 4K, or not the 4K, but the 4-channel. We're almost there with that. So I already got the base that I used last year. I'm going to use it again. And like I said, this won't take long to hook up. My line driver's coming Wednesday, along with my rest of my door speakers and stuff that I ordered. So I got one. I could hook it up. I got one, but it's gray, or like a silverish metallic gray, and I wanted the black one, the new one that's out. I think it looks a lot better. So wait for it, and that won't take but 5 minutes to hook up and mount. But yep, so let's start working on that 4-channel rack. All right, guys, that one's in. So like I said before, besides hooking up the driver when it comes, and actually hooking the batteries on up to everything, and my speaker wires, speaker leads, whatever you want to call them. The back is, well, I got a panel down here to make, but it ain't going to be nothing special, because I'm probably just going to have the door shut, or the tailgate shut, most of the time. But it is essentially done in the rear. I got a wire up there, that's for lights. I made may not have lights in it before I go to slam. It's not going to really matter at slam because it's going to be daylight and you really ain't going to see anyway. So essentially the rear is done, thank you God. I can move on to getting the rest of the subs loaded when they get here and finishing the doors, clean this thing up, and it's done, guys. So tell me what you think. Tell me what you think of this. I don't think it looks bad at all. It's the Sunday before Slamology, and I haven't recorded the first thing today. I've been bouncing around all over the place, doing this and doing that, and fixing this and redoing that, and I'm to the point now where I'm almost ready to reload these subs here. I mean, last time I put them in, I just put them in just to see what they'd look like. But now I'm getting things wired up here. I've got my mini bus bars to wire up the subs. So I got them. I got these in. I don't think that looks too bad. But got those in now, so we're going to get what little bit of stuff there I got swept up, and we're going to start dropping subs in and getting them wired up. Alright, got 5 of them loaded, wired, whatever you want to call them. 5 of them done and 3 more to go. Looking pretty spiffy if you ask me. Kind of like the way I did the bus bars back here now. Alright, let's get these other 3 done. They are all in and they are wired. Woohoo! I tell you what, it feels like it's taken forever to get to this point. But you know, guys, when you do this stuff and you get to a point, sit back and take a look at yourself, or not yourself, but just sit back for a moment and take a look at your work, guys. Be proud of what you've done. You know, it don't matter if it's perfect or not. Be proud of what you do. Like I said, it feels like it's taken forever to get to this point, but they are all loaded. Now the only thing I got to do up front here is put the loading wall on, guys, and I got a couple little panels to wrap on the side, and get the doors on, get everything wired to the amps, and we're playing. Now we got lots of cleaning to do. Look at this thing. This thing is filthy, inside and out. I mean, whew. Filthy. But it'll only take a few hours to clean this thing up. But yeah, boy. They're in. Let's get around and get another angle. Yeah. Every hour that I get something done on this day now, it's a relief. I feel relieved. But they are in. Alright guys, now that we got the subs loaded, the rear is done besides hooking up the speakers, and I got to get the doors on, and then you know, besides getting the loading wall in, and then we can officially consider that the 2.0 build complete. But with that being said, we're going to save that for the final and last video of the build. So we're going to call this a wrap for this episode, this part. I don't even know what we're on. I'm all screwed up on them. I've been telling you guys wrong. So I don't even know what part this is, but this will be the end of this part. And we'll have one last part, and it'll be getting this thing finished, put together, and final touches. So I appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification button to get the notifications every time I upload a new video. I got some other ideas coming. I got some unboxing videos coming. And make sure you follow me on the other social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All the links are in the description below, guys. So really appreciate you watching, and we're almost done, guys. Until next time, it's Basscop. I'm out.